Kaduna State government has introduced a new policy on education which alters classroom sessions in public schools from 5 to 4 days. What is the implication of this policy on public schools? This is the focus of Panorama today. I am Suleiman Regachkum. Commemorating this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebrations were rounded off across Nigeria with the laying of wreaths at the cenotaph of the unknown soldier in Abuja, the nation's capital. The symbolic annual ritual held at the National Arcade was presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adam Sambu reports.
It's January 15, and once again Nigeria remembers her fallen heroes, those who sacrificed their lives during the World Wars, the Nigerian Civil War, as well as the various peacekeeping and internal security operations. This year, the epoch-making and solemn event coincides with a massive onslaught against terrorists and other criminal elements undermining national security and stability. The Buhari presidency is determined to ensure that a security-challenged Nigeria is not handed over to the next administration. And at the last count, over 20,000 Boko Haram fighters have surrendered to the nation's troops, and thousands have been neutralized in the northeast, where peace is gradually being restored, while bandits in the northwest, now designated as terrorists, are being dealt with in the language they understand.
Messed it up. Let's quickly look at a flutter wave moment of the match in association with Guinness. Let's see that as it comes through. That has to be one of the 3 goals for the Super Eagles for today. This was a really good one.
A befitting honor not only to the fallen heroes of Nigeria, but also those currently embedded in the various theaters of operation to protect and defend the nation's integrity. The president was joined by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Speaker Femi Bajabiamila of the House of Representatives, Chief Justice of Nigeria, as well as the Minister of Defense and the Minister of State for the FCT. There were also the Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, and the Inspector General of Police, as well as representatives of the Diplomatic Corps, the Nigerian Legion, and widows of the fallen heroes.
Men, all are to rise.
Special prayers were offered for the repose of the souls of the departed soldiers, as well as peace, unity, stability, and sustainable national development.
O God of infinite goodness, we implore you to grant peace to our nation.
Our President, President Muhammadu Buhari, be for him and be not against him. Support him and do not support against him.
Father, we ask of you that even as we remember the fallen heroes, that none of these ones, Lord, will ever regret the sacrifice of their breadwinners.
And the 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Day activities, kicked off by the presidency in October last year, formally came to a close with this presidential kiss to a pigeon. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Commemorating those who paid the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty, Armed Forces Remembrance Day also embodies many symbolic acts which point to peace and unity. Defense correspondent Najat Tijani tells us more.
These wreaths, which the President and other dignitaries, members of the Federal Executive Council and members of the Diplomatic Corps laid today at the cenotaph of the unknown soldier who represents those who fought in the First and Second World Wars and also Nigeria's Civil War, and these days also symbolizes those who are still defending the land, are made up of fresh flowers indigenous to Nigeria and also evergreens. This evergreen does not shed its leaves, nor does it change color year in, year out, symbolizing that the memory of the fallen heroes will remain evergreen in the hearts of Nigerians. Peace and unity, as well as sacrifice, are two of the main themes which played out here today.
We are here as a nation because of their gallantry and because of their sacrifice. And we continue to say, may their souls rest in perfect peace.
Very impressive, very solemn. It is an occasion that reminds all of us about the sacrifices of the military. Those who have paid the supreme sacrifice that we may live, we may have peace. That is patriotism at its highest.
The best we can do is to remember them, to celebrate them, and to support the families they left behind.
Remarks by ministers concerning the importance of this day, asking Nigerians to continue to be patriotic, to show love and regard for the sacrifices being made on a daily basis to keep the country together. I'm Naja'atu Tijani.
Other Nigerians to celebrate sacrifices of the nation's fallen heroes. The occasion provides platform for Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai to seek for public support to security agencies to end insecurity in the country. Haruna Muhammad reports.
This year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day is characterized by usual wreath laying on the tomb of unknown soldiers who died to keep the country united.
The welfare we get cannot meet our demands. So we are calling on the government to look into it, and we are calling on the government to equally look into the welfare of our widows that have no thing to rely on.
It was preceded with parade by military and Nigerian Legion, Katsina State. Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai said the celebration is worthwhile in view of contribution of fallen heroes who made special sacrifice to ensure peace and stability in the country.
We need every stakeholder to contribute, because the biggest problem we have now with banditry is the informants that live within us. And I think it is important that for community leaders, religious leaders, not only to raise their advocacy, but to also watch out for people that seem to be spending a lot of money without any clear means of livelihood.
3-gun salutes and release of pigeons symbolizes peace in the land. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
We have to discontinue from our Kaduna Network Center at the moment as Panorama now continues in Abuja. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Theater Commander, Joint Task Force, Northeast Operation Command, Hadin K, Major General Christopher Musa, says troops of the command successfully repelled ISWAP attacks on some communities as 5 terrorists were neutralized and anti-aircraft guns recovered from the criminal elements. Maimuna Garba reports.
Following up surge of ISWAP activities recently, 3 communities in the southern part of Borno were attacked, with the recent one in Biu Saturday afternoon. Confirming the attacks, Theater Commander Operation Hadin Kai, Major General Christopher Musa said the attacks on southern part of the state was due to intensified onslaught in northern Borno. Hence, the terrorists moved to the southern part to conduct isolated attacks.
We know it was just an action as part of what I said to divert attention and also to look for funds from their foreign aid. But we are sure we remain focused and we're going to get them. And to tell you the truth, the same group that did that tried their luck this evening. They're the same group that moved to go and attack Biu today. And unfortunately, they met their Waterloo.
The theater commander, however, confirmed that 2 people were killed by the terrorists while fleeing Buratai during the attack last Monday, and some houses burned on Friday night in Kautikari. He said the southern part will also be fortified to prevent the terrorists from carrying out their dastardly acts.
I want to call on Nigerians to understand that we're fighting a good cause. We're fighting for Nigeria, for Nigeria's survival, for Nigeria to develop. So all Nigerians will put out on deck and support the military.
General Musa warned those collaborating with the terrorists to desist, as the military will decisively deal with them. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Ebonyi State Police Command has recorded another feat in the fight against crime with the rescue of 32 children from traffickers in the state. Ijama Peter has the details.
Relations Officer Lovett Order said the command rescued 32 underage children who were trafficked from different parts of the country for forced labor and sexual exploitation. She said in the course of investigating the whereabouts of one Miss Chidera Wankwo, whose case was reported by the mother, useful statement was made to the police, and that led to the rescue of 32 children by operatives from a hideout at Oposi Umohara.
We are going to further investigation to Imo State, where Chidera had confirmed that there are more than 20 girls in an apartment that look like a hall, and up to like 18 boys also there doing the same business in the name of networking.
The State Commissioner of Police called on parents whose children are missing to report to the police headquarters for identification and possible claim of their wards. In Abakaliki, Ichoma Peter Wante, NTA News.
Authorities of Federal University Lafia have confirmed the abduction of 4 of its students. Head of Information Unit of the University, Abubakar Ibrahim, disclosed this to NTA News in Lafia. Achigili Magaji reports.
A visit to the university shows that normal activities are ongoing. Some students are seen in groups discussing the development. Mr. Abubakar Ibrahim confirmed that the incident occurred at the Maraba Akunza area of Lafia, close to the university where many of the students stay.
It happened on Thursday night, and 4 of our students were out of the university abducted. Were not abducted within the premises of the university.
Some residents in the neighborhood expressed concern that the level of insecurity in the area is becoming worrisome.
Because the house just like opposite my house, and the thing is that I don't know if the school can help with us, because that our side is very inside. They can like the school patrol unit to come between that side because we're not safe, like not safe at all. This has happened before, now it's happening again.
Not actually a good feeling because it can happen to anybody, and my lodge is really close to the place, so I don't think we're actually safe.
Although the police public relations officer, Nasarawa State Command, was not available for comments, the university authorities say it is working in close collaboration with all the security agencies and other stakeholders to ensure the safe return of the adopted students. Achigili Magaji, NTA News.
To consolidate on the successes being recorded in addressing insecurity, Katsina State government has adopted public enlightenment strategy towards ensuring safety and security of institutions of learning across the state. Alwal Haliru reports that part of the strategy is the engagement with relevant stakeholders for enhanced campus security.
The happenings of last year of the adoption of schoolboys in Katsina prompted continued proactive measures by the state government to put an end to the menace. The strategic engagement with the relevant stakeholders organized by the Office of the Special Advisor on Security Matters is to reawaken the consciousness of students on safety. The lecture session provided opportunity for a wide scope of individuals from the security agencies to educate participants on various issues of security aimed at ensuring an unsafe environment.
Other strategies should be developed by individual institutions, taking their particular and peculiar situations.
This is a new strategy in security management. That's why we engage the relevant strategic stakeholders to do these discussions. It's an interface.
And in view of the vulnerability of students in drug abuse and traffic rules violations, officials from NDLEA and the Federal Road Safety Corps delivered lectures as part of strategies for robust relationship between security agencies and students. Awal Haleru, NTA News.
Governor Mai Malabuni has launched the Maiden Yobe Education Day with the distribution of educational textbooks and modern laboratory equipment worth millions of naira to improve teaching and learning in schools across the state. Correspondent Bashir Nababa reports that an enhanced school feeding program was also unveiled to promote productivity among students.
Since the inception of the Governor Mai Malabuni administration in 2019, education was considered top priority with the declaration of state of emergency on the sector for enhanced productivity. Launching the education support initiatives, Governor Mema Labuni says his administration is bringing education to the front burner in order to make quality education affordable and accessible to the children of the poor. He recalled with satisfaction commendation given to Yobe State by the British government through its ambassador to Nigeria for the successes recorded in repositioning the education sector over the years.
The impressive performance of our students in national examinations is a positive indication to our collective efforts to equip the future generations with the required prerequisites for self-actualization, good citizenship, and a prosperous future for the state.
The education sector in Yobe State is one area that suffered the most during the years of Boko Haram insurgency, with schools being targets for destruction by the insurgents. This scenario has, however, changed by the combined efforts of governments, non-governmental organizations, and international donor agencies, with the sector witnessing increased stability and enrollment. From Damaturu, Bashir Nababa, NTA News.
We'll now pause for some messages on Panorama. It continues shortly. Stay tuned.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
You're welcome back. The alteration of class sessions from 5 to 4 days in public schools in Kaduna State by the Kaduna State government has taken effect from Friday. However, boarding students are taking advantage of the days off to engage in personal developments to fill the gap. Suleiman Regachikun reports that primary school pupils and day secondary school students are underutilizing the additional one-day holiday.
Tempered with on account of changes introduced by the state government. On account of changes introduced by the state government. Instead of 5 days classes. Therefore, one-day reduction has altered lesson plans of teachers. However, some students, especially in boarding secondary schools, are taking advantage of the situation to attend to their assignments, while others, particularly of primary and day secondary schools, have different views on the Friday off.
Ina yin yawo na, ina yin kwallo ta, ina dan hawan abuna na hawa a unguwa.
This policy is directed at public schools, while class sessions are going on at private schools in the state.
When you do sensory contact environment, you will not have what ideas of things that are happening in your world, in your environment.
The fear among stakeholders is that the existing gap between private and public schools in Kaduna State will continue to widen under the newly introduced policy, but government says measures to fill the gap have been put in place.
Friday, just like the civil servants have been given 4 working days, the same thing in the school calendar, it should be 4 working academic calendar too, so that the teachers and the students will have enough time through your social media, through WhatsApp, whatever, you communicate with your learners, give them assignment, let them respond, you mark and give it to them.
For now, public schools in Kaduna will continue to enjoy holidays from Friday to Sunday every week, hence the need for parents to support government policy by monitoring their children.
Right, a report by Suleiman Rigachiko lays the foundation for our discussion as I'm being joined now by an educationist from our Kaduna Network Center, Dr. Abdullahi Tafida. Thanks for joining us on Panorama. Let's have your own perspective on this developments of course, we're having 4 days now instead of the usual 5 days.
Thank you very much. And this is a very good policy. And Kaduna State government has based its policy based on 3 objectives. Number 1 is to boost productivity. Number 2 is to improve on the work life, and number 3 is to allow workers to spend more time with their family. So you find out if Kaduna State has based its objective on these 3, I think it is well and good. It's not how much work that you do, but the quantum of the work that matters. The workers need to have a relaxed mind, and the workers must also be with their family, and also the productivity must yield result. For example, now look at a public government, whereby the idea today is to move us from at least, I cannot say that analog system to at least digital system, where you find out 10 people will work on an issue, only 2 people can do that work.
Fida, I haven't said that. If you can still hear me very well, this policy, it seems to be only for public schools. Private schools are still running 5 days, and before then, there's been this argument about the gap between public and private schools. Now that they run 4 days and the private schools are running 5 days, will it not worsen the gap in terms of education quality?
It wasn't anything. It's just a matter of simple arithmetic. If in 5 days you are producing X ton of your product, the idea is to know how many hours that you are producing. Now the number of time or the hours has now been decreased. So you have to make a small arithmetic and find out how many hours are you now going to spend. There is nothing harm about it. So it's just a matter of simple arithmetic that we are taught in primary school, secondary school, and in our universities.
Educationists, what advice would you give the Kaduna State government in terms of improving quality education both at the private and public schools? Now, as an educationist, Dr. Tafida, what advice would you give Kaduna State government as they really bid to improve the quality of education in both private and public schools? Private and public.
To be missed. When we are doing this e-learning, nothing has been missed. And also, coronavirus has exposed us that we are not yet ready. Now we must be ready to move. We are moving from logistic or economy into what is known as digital. And some they even call it cloud economy. You can even shop. You can sell your goods even without the shops. Look at a mechanizer. There are some tires that even if you step on nails, I think that tire would melt your nail, and you see the person by the roadside, I think he has to get another job. You look at the globalization, look at the faces. We are supposed to be on the first pages in Nigeria, but we are lagging behind. That's why we have to move. We cannot stay stagnant like that. We have to move. We don't want change, and we must accept change, whether we like it or not.
Dr. Abdullahi Tafida, would like to thank you for giving us your perspectives on the numbers of school days in Kaduna on Panorama today. Would sincerely appreciate you. Now let's move on Panorama and join Gift George for sports updates.
From the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon, match day 8 fixtures on Sunday shows that Gambia will take on Mali in a Group F match, while Tunisia squares up against Mauritania. In Group E, Cote d'Ivoire faces Sierra Leone, while Algeria will play Equatorial Guinea. Still on the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon, Ghana's Benjamin Tete has been given a 3-match ban after punching a Gabonese player during their second match against Gabon, which ended in a draw. He was given a red card by the center referee, who was advised by the video assistant referee. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, confirmed the suspension of the 24-year-old Ghanaian player on Saturday. The player was actually on the pitch for the last 3 minutes as a substitute, but has now been suspended. Meanwhile, Nigerian Allied Sports Supporters Club have been commended for giving the Super Eagles of Nigeria maximum support to get 2 victories so far at the ongoing African Cup of Nations in Cameroon. In the Nigerian Professional Football League, league leaders Remo Stars would attempt to maintain its top position as it goes away to Wiki Tourist. Shooting Stars welcome Sunshine Stars, Kano Pillars plays host to Niger Tornadoes, Rangers tackles MFM, while Gombe United welcomes Eyimba Football Club. To grassroots tennis now. The 4th edition of the Azimuth National Junior Tennis Championship ended on Saturday at the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club. Over 200 junior tennis players from 19 states took part in the 5-day grassroots tournament in the under 12, 14 and 16 categories for boys and girls.
I actually feel great winning the tournament, and it will help me because I played under 16 also, so I improved my game there.
Look at Nadal, look at Djokovic, look at them. They start playing as early as maybe 3-4 years. So they have to invest their time. That's the most important thing.
Prizes and other gift items were presented to the winners in various categories. With Sports Update, Gift George, NTA News.
And that is Panorama. Well, thank you for watching. I'm Ayo Deji. Makinde, please remember to connect with the NTA and stand against rape and rapists. Good afternoon.
On your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.